dear students. Today I'm going to teach you one of the very interesting chapter from your literature book. The name of the chapter is The Conjurer's Revenge. First of all, you should know what is the meaning of conjurer. A conjurer is a person who plays tricks, who is a magician. So here in this chapter, the conjurer plays so many tricks, but there is a quick man who really irritates him. And how does a conjurer takes a revenge from that quick man? This is really very much humorous chapter. So let's start this chapter.
Stephen Leacock. Stephen Leacock Butler was born on 30th December 1869. He was a political scientist, a teacher, and he was also a famous humorist writer. In the early part of 19th century, he earned a name as a famous humorist. To supplement his regular income, Stephen Leacock started writing fiction, short reports. His stories were published in magazines in America as well as Canada. He became extremely popular around the world. He wrote a lot of non-fiction, but he became famous for his humorous work. His first collection of humorous stories appeared in the year 1910 under the title Literary Lapses. His two important books are The Sunshine Sketches of a Little Town and The Arcadian Adventures of the Idle Rich. Now, dear students, let's learn about this lesson, that what Stephen Leacock has to talk about magician and what the conjurer did and how he took his revenge. So, my dear students, you give a silent reading to this page. You can give a pause to your video. You can silently read this page, and afterwards you listen to the explanation. Now, the story starts with the conjurer, the magician, performing his tricks. On the stage, there is a lot of audience sitting in front of them, and he is trying to impress his audience. He says that the first thing I am going to do is to conjure a ball of goldfish from an empty cloth. And he takes an empty cloth, and from that cloth he brings out a ball which is full of goldfish. Everybody is amazed, stupefied, and surprised. How did he manage to do that? But then, right in front of row in the audience is a man who is a quick man and who is so quick to give his comments. That's why Stephen Leacock calls that man the quick man, because, as I said, he is very quick in commenting what the conjurer was doing. The moment he conjures a ball of goldfish, this man whispers to the audience around him and he says he had the ball of goldfish up his sleeve. Now everybody looked at him and they started wondering, did this man really have a ball of goldfish up his sleeve? The conjurer is a little perturbed. He is completely disturbed, and then he says, now, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to perform the famous Hindustani trick. Do you see these rings? I am going to join these rings together at one go. And exactly, he takes the 7 rings and he says abracadabra, and the rings are joined into a chain. The moment he does that, everybody in the audience is surprised. How did he do that, and how did he manage to do that? Now students, now you move to next page, give a silent reading to next page, and after that listen to the explanation of this page very carefully. On this page there are some difficult words, So I have underlined those words. I have written their easy meanings also. So you can understand the easy meanings before reading this page. Now the Quickman says that he is sure that the conjurer has a set of joint rings up his sleeves. Now the conjurer is really worried because his reputation starts sinking and the audience is believing what the Quickman says. Then he turns to the audience and says, "My dear sir, can you please give me your hat?" One of the gentlemen from the audience gave his hat and then he says, "Now I'm going to extract 17 eggs from this hat," and then he starts extracting the eggs. Everybody is amazed. How can he take out eggs from an empty hat? They are surprised and wonder what a great magician he is performing such great tricks. But then the Quickman says, "Don't worry, he has a hen up his sleeves." Now the magician is really angry. He is really irritated and he keeps performing his tricks. He thinks, "I should not bother about the Quickman." He keeps performing his tricks. Every trick he performs is undermined by the Quickman. The Quickman says he has a loaf of bread up his sleeve. The Quickman says he has a cradle up his sleeve. The Quickman says he has a guinea pig up his sleeves. Any trick that was performed by it was again and again undermined. The Quickman was making fun of the conjurer, the magician. He kept telling the audience that all the tricks that the magician was telling on the stage were up his sleeves. Now, we all know that the conjurer may have some of the tricks up his sleeves, but if somebody keeps undermining his efforts, so definitely conjurer would get angry. And that is exactly what happened. The conjurer was getting very angry. Then he decides that he must do something to take a revenge. Now let's see how the conjurer takes a revenge. Now, I think my dear student would be very much excited to know that how the conjurer takes a revenge from Quickman. Now the conjurer gets very angry. He turns to the audience and says that I'm going to perform a famous Japanese trick from Tipperary, and then he turns to the Quickman and says, "Sir, may I have your golden watch?" The Quickman immediately takes out his gold watch and gives it to the conjurer. Now, the golden watch of Quickman is in the hand of conjurer. Now, what does the conjurer do with that watch? Now, there is a twist in the story. For that, you have to move to the next page. That is next page, page number 59 of your literature book. You just give a silent reading to this page and afterwards listen to the explanation that I am going to give you, my dear students. Now, on this page, it is given that the conjurer takes his golden watch and says, "Sir, do I have the permission to put it into the mortar and break it and smash it into pieces?" The Quickman says, "Fine." He takes the watch, puts it to the mortar and takes a hammer and pounds it to the pieces. The Quickman thinks that the conjurer has actually hidden his watch up his sleeve. He thinks it is a trick only. The next, he turns back to the Quickman and says, "Sir, can you please give me your silk handkerchief?" The Quickman says, "Fine, take my silk handkerchief." The conjurer asks, "Can I put holes into your handkerchiefs?" The Quickman says, "Fine," and the Quickman starts burning holes into the handkerchief. The Quickman is little bit puzzled now as he sees holes in the handkerchief, but he doesn't see the tricks in it. Now the Quickman was asked to give his hat. The Quickman says, "Sure, sir, take my hat." The Quickman starts jumping on it. He started dancing on it, and the Quickman completely destroys his hat. Now the Quickman is completely puzzled, bewildered. He is unable to see through the tricks. He is unable to understand what exactly the conjurer is doing. And then he says, "Sir, can you please give me your spectacles? I want to break them too." The Quickman immediately removes his spectacles and gives it to the magician. Magician, you can say, conjurer. He takes the spectacles and pounds it to the pieces. Now the Quickman is really puzzled and he is unable to understand the tricks at all. The audience are also quite surprised what exactly is happening, because the conjurer is not really hiding anything up his sleeves. He is really breaking things up. Now the magician turns to the audience and says, "My dear audience, you all have seen that with the permission of this Quickman, I have destroyed his spectacles, I have burnt his collar, I have punched holes into his handkerchief, I have smashed his golden watch, and if he gives me permission, I am going to paint his coat with green stripes, and I am also going to tie his suspenders in a knot." The meaning of suspender is also given on this page. You can see the straps that are used to hold trousers in a place. So he says that I'm going to tie his suspenders in a knot. Now the performance has come to an end, and then everybody realizes that it was not a trick at all. The magician had really destroyed all the things of the Quickman. The Quickman is surprised, and he also understands that there are certain tricks that cannot be hidden at the magician's sleeve. There is a thunderous applause, the lights come on, and the people start clapping. And as they go out of the hall, they say, "After all, there are certain tricks that are not done up in the magician's sleeve." Now, in this way, magician conjurer was successful in taking the revenge from the Quickman. Now, the chapter has come to an end. So, my dear students, I am going to give you one of the assignment. These questions I have taken from your literature book, page number 60.
Hope my dear students have enjoyed this chapter too much and each and every concept is clear to you. Still, if you have any doubt, you can ask me in your Zoom online class, and I hope my students will put efforts in solving the answers of this chapter. Okay, and all the answers will be discussed with you in your class. Okay, bye. Have a nice day. Put your efforts and read this chapter silently one or two times again in order to make all the concept clear. Thank you.